we have a new Eternals trailer out.
Yeah, it just came out today.
Yeah, and people are excited, and I'm not exactly sure why. It's like a new restaurant like opens, and like the restaurant's called We Have Food. And it shows a guy eating like a random piece of like food, and everybody's like going nuts, but no one's eaten the food before and have no idea what the food's like.
Right. Is that a comment on these characters, or is it a comment on the trailer as well?
It's the comment on these characters, and like I might be wrong, and like if you're listening to this podcast and you read comics, please enlighten me. But the Eternals have never been a big deal. Like no one has ever been like, okay, I was like, there used to be a time where comics would come out on Tuesdays and you literally would rush to the comic store to get a copy of something because you wanted to read it so bad. And Eternals have never done that. There's never been any comic fan that I know of that's ever said, I cannot wait for the Eternals to come out. Like no one knows that. And like this is not it's not a thing. But let's see what happens. Let's see if Marvel can make it a thing. I think Marvel thinks that people will watch their movies no matter what. This is going to be the ultimate test. If this movie does really well and fans go nuts over it, then Marvel can't do any wrong, and we'll just have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to lay down a couple of different things that I saw from the trailer, and then of course you've got some things I might want to add too. Do you have the IMDb open? IMDb?
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, so Dane Whitman. He's played by the guy who played Jon Snow. What's his real name?
Kit Harington.
Pretty sexy dude.
Is he the first man that we see in this trailer, or is that somebody else?
That's Icarus. His name is Icarus. He's played by the guy who played Robb Stark, who is...
Oh, really? Okay, Richard Madden.
There you go.
At first, when I saw him, I thought it was Sebastian Stan.
No. He's way more handsome than Sebastian Stan. But, Kit Harington is
don't say things like about the Winter Soldier like that.
So Kit Harington is going to play Dan Whitman, and Dan Whitman is the Black Knight in the comics, and the Black Knight is a big Avengers guy. So that's cool. He has no connection to the Eternals, so I don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll just have to wait and see. We got Icarus, who is played by Robb Stark. That's not his real name. Thena is
Richard Madden.
Yeah, we got Thena, who's Angelina Jolie. Sersi, and the Sersi character is really interesting because the Sersi character was an Avenger for a very long period of time. So I kind of like that she's in this.
Isn't she like seems like she's the most popular of the Eternals, as far as Eternals can be popular at all?
She's probably the one that has interacted with the Marvel comics as the most.
Okay.
And then we've got like Festos.
And she's played by Gemma Chan.
Yep. So, and then we got Festos. Festos, the guy who's played Festos, he played in other movies too. I think he was in Godzilla vs. King Kong. So interesting. I like that.
Reminds me of Bernie Mac a little bit.
Yeah, but I think he's funnier than Bernie Mac. Even though Bernie Mac was extremely funny.
I did not hear that.
I wonder if Bernie Mac was still alive. I wonder what Marvel character he'd want to do. Anyway, we got Ajak, who's played by Selma Hayek. Interesting note, Mike. Her character has been gender swapped. She is not a woman in the comics. She's a man.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And then we have other ones that I don't care about. And we've got the Deviants and then the Celestials. So in the comics, it's really, really complicated, the history of the Deviants and the Eternals. But so essentially the Celestials, which are these big space gods, experiment with beings on their planets. They experiment with the Kree, they experimented with all kinds of creatures. And they came to Earth to run experiments, and the experiments led them to create the Deviants and the Eternals. So that's kind of, I think Marvel is rightly trying to dumb them down, but I did like in the trailer that we did get the Celestials. Like, I can't explain to you how a big deal the Celestials are in the Marvel comics. When the Celestials show up, it's never fun. It's never like, hey, Celestials are here. It's always like, oh my God, these guys are really bad. This is bad. This is bad. So I like that we will have them. That's gonna be cool. I like the way they look, which is also cool.
Yeah,
Um,
they've all got a kind of a consistent costume style.
yeah, it looks very Jack Kirby-esque, but also it's like a twist. Like they look more ethereal than you would think, but they look pretty
Hmm.
neat. The whole thing looks like a really powerful, really interesting science fiction movie.
Hmm.
I mean, it kind of reminds me a lot of like Flash Gordon, a little bit of what's another old school like never in the story, but that's a terrible one. What's up? Give me an old school 70s or 80s space movie.
Battlestar Galactica.
Oh wow, yeah. Was that a movie?
Sure. Pretty sure there was a movie.
No, no,
No,
no.
Black Hole.
Is that a black hole? Is that a series?
No, that was a Disney movie, wasn't it?
I never saw it.
All right.
But anyway, it's got a
E.T.
very ET. Yeah, got
Short
it,
Circuit.
but
All right.
it's got a very sci-fi fantasy esque feel to it, and I'm
Yeah.
cool with that because they're going to have to make this different than the rest of the Marvel stuff to work, and they're
Yeah,
going to have to.
that's the one word I guess I would use to describe this. Is it's definitely different from anything else in the MCU so far.
The director won an Academy Award, so Marvel's super stoked about that. So a lot of people go to see this movie. My worry is that this movie is either going to be way over people's heads and they won't understand anything they're trying to do with it, or it'll be too dumbed down and not interesting. So I don't. They have a very thin line to play with here. But what did you
I
get from the
found my
trailer?
reason to be excited for the movie.
What?
Looking at the top cast on IMDb, Gilgamesh. You familiar with that character's name?
No.
All right. Well, anyway, Gilgamesh in this movie is played by Ma Dong-seok,
Mm-hmm.
which is a Korean guy. He was in Train to Busan,
Mm-hmm.
which you haven't seen, I'm pretty sure.
No.
Right. Yeah, because it's a fantastic zombie movie that takes place on a train.
I heard about it though.
He was really good. He's really, really good in that. And I've been looking forward to watching him in more movies. So hopefully he gets enough screen time in this one for me to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. What else did you get from the trailer? Any questions or anything?
Did you already talk about Deviants?
A little bit.
Eh.
So the Deviants.
What are they?
It's complicated, and it's so complicated that I can't.
Like, how is Thanos not a deviant? In my understanding of the word deviant.
From what you have to think about it this way: the Deviants is the name. The Deviants is the name that the Eternals have called these groups of people. These Deviants are just their creations from the Celestials. So pretty much what the Celestials did was they created the Deviants. They created the Eternals on Earth, and then they said, "Fight," basically. And
so the Deviants are like the Celestials' mistake, and the Eternals.
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say that they're part of the experiment. Like the Celestials don't look at humans and think, "Wow, we have to protect humans." The Celestials looks at humans and Earth like a petri dish, and so it's like what we would think of is like if I had a pet tarantula and then I got a rat and I threw it into the tarantula aquarium. I want to see the two fight each other, right? I don't care who wins. I think it's fun, and so the Celestials are thinking the same thing. Like they don't care about humans. They don't care about the Eternals. They don't care about the Celestials. And so that means they don't care about the Deviants. They don't care about any of that stuff.
Do you think they're going to carry that over into the movie?
Yeah, because like remember when Selma Hayek said that it jump started the emergence? Remember when she said that?
Yes.
I think what it could be is the return of the Celestials. And in the comics, there's always like this end of days, like end of time bad event. And the event is the Celestials return to Earth to see their experiment. So imagine if like these crazy dudes 7,000 years ago started the experiment and then left, right?
Okay.
And then they're going. So my theory for the movie is the Avengers brought back all these undid what Thanos did. That signals to the Celestials that humans have achieved like a certain level of power, and they're going to come back and they're going to either destroy us or restart it. Who knows? But it's not going to be a good thing. So
Okay.
like I think that's what the movie's going to do. We'll have to just wait and see. But I'm concerned because this Eternal stuff in the comics is super, super complicated. I'm going to read some Eternals comics just to try to get my head around it.
Mhm.
But dude, I'm just kind of concerned that they might try to jam all of it in there, and the typical MCU fans just going to hate it because it's going to be too complicated, or it might not
Hmm.
be complicated enough and it'll be boring. We just have to wait
Yeah.
and see.
Well, I'm glad that your answer for my Deviants question talked about the emergence because that was another question I had. So that's good. I had a question about big glowy beings. I'm pretty sure those are the Celestials you've been telling us about.
Yeah,
So I've just got one more thing. What do you think it is?
I don't know.
What's the deal with that triangular ship?
That's their ship. That's just the ship.
Is that what they use in the comics?
No, they don't have a ship.
Okay. Why is it buried in the ground, do you think?
Well, I mean, they've been there for 7,000 years. They just had to hide it somewhere.
Hmm.
That's it. It's just the ship.
Is it a ship?
Yeah,
I assumed it was a ship.
it's a ship. It's a cool ship. It's a cool looking ship. It's a cool ship. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but yeah, we'll see.
Mm-mm. Maybe it's not a ship. Why would they need a ship if the Celestials put them here as an experiment?
That's a good question. I don't know. And like it might not see the trailer has kind of insinuated that they arrived here. So
Yeah.
so I don't know. They
I
could
mean, that's what I got from the first trailer. And this one, because the ship's kind of like flying over
the sun.
coastline in the first
Yeah.
trailer, or at least one of the earlier trailers.
Yeah.
And in this one, the final trailer, they unearth the ship or
Yeah.
the big triangle, whatever.
Well, I
it
mean,
is.
the when the first trailer it shows up, I think that's in the past, and then in the present day, they hid the ship years ago, and they need it now, so they just bring it
Hmm.
up. It seems like from what I've watched,
Maybe it's like a Stargate.
no, probably not. Yeah, it'd be cool if it was. From what I'm looking at, though, it looks like these people haven't really talked to each other or interacted with each other in a very long time.
Yeah.
So it's like, they kind of have to get to know each other again, which I guess it's gonna be interesting to see.
Right. Yeah. Broke that one guy's IKEA table.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. I'm going to promise the readers this. Like, I'm going to read old school Eternals comics and more modern comics. I really want to get my head around these Eternals. So when the
Mhm.
movie comes out, I'll be able to articulate it a little bit better. So that's my goal.
Filled with knowledge.
That's my job, right?
Yep. Cool.
Have you started reading any comics yet?
No, I'm getting close to maybe doing that zombie series or what was it, Civil War? I think that you pointed out.
Yeah, one day.
One of those two.
Just you have a great iPad. Just
I have to go on vacation first and then get bored
Yeah.
and then start reading.
Great, good, okay.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Hopefully, people love it, so we'll see. People are excited.
November 5th.
November 5th, big day.
Yeah. Got a busy end of the year coming up as far as Marvel movies
Yeah,
goes.
we have a busy end of the year with podcasting. We're going to be doing a lot of podcasting.
Mhm.
A lot of podcasting, which is
Looking
great.
forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Listeners, tell a
Oh, yeah.
friend.
Tell 2 friends, actually. Email
Yes, send them a link
free
right
friends.
now.
Like, you know how people on Facebook post like anti-vax stuff and say that, the vaccine will make you sterile, which it won't. Do that
Mhm.
for our podcast. Spread real information on Facebook to your friends and family, not just the crap that you see every day on there.
Yeah, who's a friend that you think might like the Eternals? Send them a link to this podcast right now.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, or send it to friends who like these actors.
Yeah.
Like that, Jon Snow,
Especially
sexy dude,
Yeah, the guy that you think looks better than the Winter Soldier.
Rob Stark, he's really sexy. It's sad what happened to him at the Red Wedding. Did you watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I did. I'm surprised that you did. It's pretty gory.
Yeah, I did. At some point, I got hooked on it.
All right. Yeah, Salma Hayek, Angelina Jolie,
Yeah.
Ma Dong Suk, or
Yeah.
however you say his last name.
Angelina Jolie's like, I'm just kind of tired of her.
Kumail Nanjiani.
Great.
When he got cast for this movie, I thought he was going to be like a big part of it, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be a big part of it.
I'm sure he doesn't care. I'm sure he got a good couple $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, man, he got access to those $1 million nutritionists and trainers.
Yeah, I wish I could do that.
Kind of worth it itself.
You know, if I got like picked for a Marvel movie and they said you have to get buff and we're going to give you all the resources and training you need to get buff real quick, like I would go to the first workout and be like, I hate this. I'm not doing this.
I would try to stick with it.
I'd be like, you know how some people be like, you know, the before and after. So I'd be like, I don't want this. Give me a cheeseburger. I don't.
Well, that looks like what the guy playing Fastos did.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he buffed up.
In his contract, he's like, I don't want to get buff, nor do I care.
Right.
It's like, don't really care.
Yeah, cool. All right.
All right. See you guys next time.